Hey, everybody, and welcome to today's class on what's up with crystals. So, I know a lot of you have been hearing a lot about crystals and the properties that crystals have. It's all over the media, it's all over it's in stores, it's everywhere. But crystals have been around for thousands and millions of years, and they're not new to the planet, and they're not new to people. So for many, many years, people have been using crystals to really aid them in living a life that feels successful for them. So if that's overcoming an illness, if that's manifesting money, if that is attracting self-love or a mate or a partner, if that's getting more sleep, more focus, having concentration, being able to just take care of yourself in a many different ways, then crystals have been there for that for many people. So if you're not familiar with crystals, what this video today is going to talk about are how crystals are very beneficial for you and how you can use them, as well as how to cleanse your crystals. If you're going to purchase crystals or you're going to mess with crystals of any kind, it's going to be so important for you to know how to cleanse your crystals. And not only are we going to be talking about how to cleanse your crystals, I'll be teaching you how to use your crystals too. So let's just dive right into it. So let's talk about why crystals are so beneficial for you in your self-love journey. There are so many crystals out there, and I've got a couple of crystals sitting next to me that I have in my own personal collection, but there's so many crystals out there that you can go and purchase them, and they all have their typical attached intentions to them. So sometimes you might go into a crystal store or just any store and you'll see a box of crystals or a set of crystals, and it'll say, well, these crystals are for love, or this crystal is to help you sleep, or this crystal does this and this crystal does that. But one thing that I really want you to understand is that no matter what someone has assigned a crystal's properties to, that may be the property of that crystal, but it doesn't necessarily have to be what you use it for. We all use crystals in different ways. And just because you may use a crystal differently than what it was told you should use it as, it's not a big deal, and it's not something that's going to mess it up for you. So no matter where you are in your self-loving journey, it's also learning how to be kind and loving to crystals. Crystals are living and breathing objects, and I know that they sometimes feel solid and hard, and that's cool, but they are very much live, breathable allies. And these allies are our friends, and they can help us whenever we ask for them to help us with. So just because you have a crystal that might be assigned to you for bringing in more love or drawing in more love, you could use that crystal for something completely different. So that's step one. Step one is knowing that you can define what you want your crystal to look like. And that's called programming a crystal. Let me take an example right here. So this crystal right here, this is a smoky quartz crystal. You can see a little bit of its beauty. A smoky quartz crystal is technically designed to help draw out negative energy. Not only does smoky quartz help draw out negative energy, it is also designed to block energy. And knowing that, you can assign this crystal or program it to draw out anything that's inside of your body, inside of your life, inside of your world. So while this crystal has its own meaning, it doesn't mean that it's specifically for drawing out negative energy. You may just want it to help cleanse the air in your space. You may just want it to help cleanse any part of your world. So say you've got money issues, you may want to use this to help you rebalance your money issues, start clearing out the blockages that's keeping you from receiving the money that you desire. So this crystal can definitely help with that, along with many other crystals that were used for the same thing. These are beautiful quartz crystals. See these? This is very pretty. This is a nice, beautiful quartz crystals. These are clear quartz, And this is smoky quartz. See the difference? This is clear and this has some brown flecks and hues in them. All of these crystals have their own special properties, and you can decide what to use them for. So sometimes you can have a favorite crystal that you completely enjoy and use it specifically for what you want to use it for. Now, let me show you one crystal that I program for me. I love this crystal hands down. Crystals can talk to you. They can speak to you just like humans can talk and speak to you. So if you're ever wanting to just tune in and listen to your crystal, you can meditate on your crystal and let it talk to you as well. And it can tell you what it wants to use or how it wants to be used in your life. So I'm going to take this crystal right here. Can you see that? This crystal is called black tourmaline. Black tourmaline, very beautiful crystal. Black tourmaline ideally has been used to also remove negative energy or darker energies out of your life. I have programmed this crystal to take away illnesses out of the body. And the reason I've programmed this crystal to do such is because that's what this crystal told me it wanted to do. And again, when I say program the crystal, I'm basically saying, okay, this crystal is going to be used to take out illnesses in the body. That's it. There's no special ritual. There's no special thing. All you have to do now is to trust that this crystal is going to help take illnesses out of the body. And if I go a little step further, this crystal I specifically use to take out illnesses from the back of a person. So say person has back aches, neck aches, lower back problems, joint issues in the back. I'm going to use this crystal because I've programmed it to take the illness out of the person's spine, their back. So you can be even that specific when you're talking to crystals. You don't have to have it that specific. You can make it as general and as vague as you want. But the key here when it comes to programming your crystals is trust. Trust the process. Trust that the crystal is going to do exactly what it says it's going to do, and let it be that. All right. So now let's move on to the second thing. There are some spiritual and wonderful properties to crystals. So if you've ever dealt with crystal therapy or ever heard of crystal therapy, there are many crystal therapists out there who use crystals to help you in many different ways because they've gotten familiar with their crystals, they've communicated with their crystals, they know how to talk to their crystals, and they know how to program their crystals to remove illnesses out of the body. I like to use I like to use crystals in some of the work that I do with my clients sometimes too. When you are thinking about the spiritual ways to use crystals, some of the spirituality properties that can help you are learning how to connect with your higher guides or your higher power or your higher wisdoms. And certain crystals can do that for you. Again, if we go back to the quartz crystal, quartz definitely is a high vibing crystal. If you want to connect to all things that's around you, all things that is divine, this is a powerful crystal that can do that for you. And again, like I said, any crystal can do this for you. These are just some of the main properties that are most commonly associated with certain crystals. Another spiritual crystal that can be used are called amethyst. Amethysts are beautiful purple. Now I've got two different types of amethyst here. This one's more of a rough amethyst, and I'll put this down so you can see it. This is a very beautiful rough amethyst. You can see that. Very pretty. And then this one is a light amethyst. Nice, beautiful, big, large chunk. Really good, solid amethyst. See that? So amethysts have been really good at connecting to your third eye. And a lot of you have heard of chakras, or you're starting to hear of chakras. Well, your third eye chakra is up here. Your third eye chakra is up here. And the third eye is what connects you to your psychic abilities. It's connecting you to your intuition. It's connecting you to the things that you can't see with your physical eyes, but you can see with your mind's eye. And so if you ever want to heighten your intuition, amethyst crystals are a good way to go about it. Again, you could use any crystals to do that. That is the most common spiritual property of that crystal. Now let's move on to another crystal here that I have, another commonly purchased crystal. This is a big crystal, so we're going to talk about the rose quartz. This is a very huge, huge crystal. Why do I have such a big thing? Because it's amazing. I like to specifically put this crystal up against my heart and allow the crystal to do its magic. The reason is because this crystal is most commonly used with the heart chakra. This is used to draw in more compassion, more love, more vibrancy, more peace, more calm, more hypeness. Rose quartz can do that for you. You can also use it for your crown chakra, right? So right up at your head, this is where your crown chakra is. This is going to connect you to your divine wisdom, your divine oneness with the universe. If you want to feel connected to a higher power, this crystal can aid you there in meditation or any sort of trance work that you would like to do. Now, if you want me to make a video on trance work and let us do some trance work together, we can do that. But those are just some common properties that some common crystals that you can use with spiritual properties. All crystals have spiritual properties attached to them. You can define, again, your own spiritual properties for those particular crystals or any crystals that you come across. So now let's talk about how to cleanse crystals, because my biggest thing is if you're going to use something, know what you're using and know how you're using it, right? So not everybody knows why they're buying crystals. Some people buy crystals because they're pretty. They like them. It's the new fad for a lot of people. It looks good being worn. It looks good anywhere. It looks good in the house. It looks good on windowsills. But not all crystals need to be around you at all times, and not all crystals need to be on you at all times. This is why it's so important to cleanse your crystals. Cleansing your crystals takes away all the energy that it absorbs. Because crystals are living, breathable objects, they absorb so much. They absorb so many different things. And if you have crystals just around you, like on your windowsill, on your body, in your bedroom, at your head, in your bed, and they've never been cleansed, it can do the side effect. It can start making you feel sicker than healthier. And it can start taking away what it was originally intended to do. So here are a couple ways to cleanse your crystals. I'll tell you my favorite ways to cleanse crystals. There's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of ways to cleanse crystals, but I like to do a couple different things. The first way that I like to cleanse crystals is to put them by the windowsill, place them in the sun or the moon, and I like to let them sit out for a full moon cycle. So I'll put them outside on a porch, or I'll put them outside by the window or in a bowl or something so that the sun and the moon can touch them for 2 weeks. And then I will take them back in and they will have been cleansed. So you can follow the moon cycle. If you want to do it just on a full moon, you can do it on a full moon. That's a very special time. The full moon is designed to really cleanse and kick up a lot of stuff. So you may want to sit some crystals outside on a full moon, just one full moon. If you don't want to sit crystals outside in the full moon, you can put them in the freezer. Now that is a little different. Not all crystals can go in the freezer, so you may want to do your research on some crystals that can go in the freezer. A crystal that can't not go in a freezer is selenite. Don't ever put that in water or in the freezer. You can put certain crystals like amethyst in the freezer. You can put hematite in the freezer. This is a magnetic one. So you see that? That's magnetic. That can go in the freezer. This can go in the freezer. Freezer is great. Put it in the freezer for 24 to 48 hours and let the energy from the freezer cleanse your crystals. That's a second way. A third way would be to wave it back and forth over some fire. Get a candle and just kind of cleanse that crystal with fire. Cleanse it with some fire. Another way is to get some sage. Many people are also getting hip on sage sticks or smudge sticks, or loose leaf sage is in your abalone shell. So burn some sage and just wave your crystal around that sage stick if you have it in an abalone shell, or take the sage stick and just smudge your crystals. That will cleanse the crystals as well if you want them to be cleansed quicker. You could also get some real mineral sea salt and put it in a bowl and completely cover the crystals. So submerge the crystals in salt and let it sit for 3 days. That's another way to cleanse crystals as well. And then another way to cleanse crystals is sometimes in water. I like to put them in cold water for a couple of minutes just to wade them back and forth. That's another way to do it. Now, if you're somebody who's very sensitive to energy, you'll feel when the crystals have been cleansed. You'll know the difference right away. They won't feel as heavy in your body. Like if I wear this, I can't wear this crystal all the time. I love it. It's beautiful. It's really big, and it sits right here at my chest. And I work with clients. I talk to people all the time. And if I wore this crystal on a regular basis every single day, what I tend to notice, if I haven't cleansed it in a while, is that my chest starts to hurt. I get tense chest pains and my body starts to like really feel really, really tight. And so I can't wear this after a while. I have to take it off, cleanse it for a while, and then I can put it back onto my body so that it's not affecting me. So really pay attention to your crystals. Be very sensitive with your crystals. Notice what they feel like in your hand. And so I'm going to give you a really cool exercise on how to feel the energy of this crystal. Okay. So let's just take this beautiful crystal right here. This is our quartz crystal. And what I want you to do is to take the palm of your hands, and I want you to rub them together. What we're doing is creating some friction and a little bit of circulation in your hands. This amps up you being able to feel with your hands. All right. We got our hands nice and sensitive. All right. Now you should notice that there's a tingly sensation in your hands, and that's good. Your hands are really sensitive. So I want you to take that crystal, and I want you to just wave your hand right over it and notice if you feel any thickness or anything hitting right up against the palm of your hand. You may start to notice something. Ooh, I noticed the crystal there's something right here at the palm of my hand, right? I'm just waving it back and forth. I don't feel anything. I feel something as I get over here. Right here, you see? I'm on the side of the crystal, so I'm going to put my hand over here. Yeah, just try to feel the barrier or the outer edge of this crystal. That is this crystal's energy body. That's how you know it's alive, it's breathing. You can do this with anything. It doesn't have to be crystals. You can do it with your phone. You can put your hand over your phone to feel your phone. You can do it with your body. You can feel your energy with your body. Practice sensitizing your hands. Sensitizing your hands can start off here. And the more you get good at it, you won't always have to create friction in your hands. Your hands will just turn on like a light switch. And that's how you'll know. Now, let's say we don't know how big or how clean or not clean this crystal is. And I'm just going to see with my own hands how far the energy body goes out. So I'm going to start out here. You can't see, but I'll start out here. And I'm just going to come in to see how big the energy body is. And when I stop, that's when I feel something at the base of my palm. I feel the energy body out here. Look how far away I am from this crystal. I'm not that far, but I'm pretty far. That tells me that the crystal's pretty cleansed. It's got a good amount of cleansing to it. If I want to cleanse it some more, I'd get it a little bit closer to that. But for you, play around with your crystals, cleanse your crystals, really make friends with your crystals so that they can become a part of your life and that you know how they're speaking to you and what they're asking of you. So how do you use your crystals, right? Use your crystals how you want it. You can use your crystals in so many different ways. A lot of people like to wear them on their bodies, so I'll talk specifically to that. Sometimes you'll see me draped with beautiful crystal bracelets, crystal necklaces, turquoise earrings, all of these different things. If you're wearing the crystals on your body as bracelets or adornments, that's another way to use your crystals. Sometimes people like to have crystals hanging from their ceilings, placed anywhere else in their room, in their houses. That's okay too. Some people like to have their crystals under their bed. If you're looking to use your crystals to heal you, always have them close to your body. If you're looking to use crystals to help you heal anxiety, sometimes just having a crystal in your hand that's really good for anxiety, or if you've programmed it to be for anxiety, can help relax you. It can help take care of you. If you program it for sleep, oh my gosh, put that crystal next to your head while you sleep, and that will help you go to sleep. If you're trying to focus, oh my gosh, hematite is good for focusing. This is an attraction thing. If you're trying to attract anything to you, this is a great one too. So it's good for not only just attracting abundance, finances, anybody. It's also good for attracting concentration and focus. Hematite's really good for that. You can have hematite in your pocket. Having it in your pocket, give it to your kids, let them play around with it, have a little piece. Kids love to play with these magnetic things. They may be a little distracting in school, but kids love to have it just to play with it. And not only just kids, but you might like to fidget as well with your hands. And this could be something in your pocket that you fidget with to keep you concentrated. So that's how you use your crystals. That's how you clean your crystals. That's how you assign properties to your crystals. And that's how you program your crystals. So I hope this video was helpful for you, wonderful people. Thank you for joining me today. You know how to get in touch with me. Go on to www.theselflovecenter.com. I have a free class every month, and a free class will be on all topics around mindfulness, meditation, healing anxiety, self-love, self-care, and anything energy healing related. With much love, peace.